Good evening, everybody. Happy Sunday. Kurt Weidner here. I'm going to give a little insight as to what my daily routine looks like as far as prepping my meals and my supplements for a weekday. So this is take two here. We had a little camera malfunction issue with the first round. So Monday is one of my two-a-day workouts. Mondays and Wednesdays I have conditioning workouts in the morning, and then I also have an evening resistance training workout. So on those days I have a very simple breakfast, which I already put this together. What this is this is 50 grams weight of quick oats. Okay, already weighed that out. And then got 70 grams of Weidner's wild blueberries, which supposed to be half a cup, and then put 45 grams of core ISA, whey isolate, in there. The idea here is I want a nice, fast digesting meal, no added fat. It's really just protein and carbs, two different carb sources. You got the oats and the blueberries. Blueberries provide some good antioxidants there. Just kind of jumpstart my day, but something that's not going to sit in my stomach while I'm doing intervals. So that's going to be meal one. Now, on another day where I don't have that morning workout, what I would do is these are already made. The dogs are going nuts. These are muffins that are made. These are made from eggs, whole eggs, egg whites, sweet potato, non-fat plain Greek yogurt, chobani, and core MRP. In this case, I use the core MRP banana cream. If you've seen my waffle recipe, which is on YouTube, it's basically the same recipe. The only difference is instead of using a waffle maker, what I'm doing is I have 12 of these 500 milliliter Pyrex dishes. I just put non-stick spray and I pour the batter into those instead of pouring the waffle maker. Basically the same thing. All the macros that are calculated, I'll show you that program in a minute. So like Tuesday, Friday, that would be my breakfast. All right, so tomorrow we just got the core ISO with the blueberries and the oats. Put that up here on the top shelf of my fridge. And what I'm gonna have next to it, this will be added to my supplements in the morning, but this is my Garden of Life probiotic. Okay, I would highly recommend this if you're not already using a probiotic. So that's a one-a-day supplement. So now on to meal two. Okay, so meal one tomorrow, I'm gonna be getting up around 5, maybe a few minutes before. You know, by the time I turn the coffee maker on, feed the dogs, I'm throwing that down probably around 5:15. And then, you know, I'll shower at the gym, head to the office, and then pretty much between 8 and 8:30, I'm gonna be eating my first whole food meal. Meal 2 of the day, that's what I'm making right now. This is going to be, I'm going to put 6 ounces of broccoli in here. And they're telling me that they want some broccoli, so we're going to give them some broccoli. You guys want some broccoli? That's it. There you go. Make sure you get Kreider on video eating that thing. Kreider's the messiest eater ever. Shit just falling everywhere. But he likes his veggies. It's good. It's good. We're all about good nutrition habits here in the Weidner household. Alright, so back to meal 2. Got 6 ounces of broccoli there, and then what I'm going to be doing is putting in a cup of quinoa. Level that off. Okay. And then depending on the day, there's going to be a little bit of variance with these meals depending on the day and what my particular needs are. Being that this is following a conditioning session, I need a pretty high carbohydrate meal. So in addition to my cup of quinoa, I'm actually going to add half a cup of brown rice. Now I'll show you what the macros look like on all this when I'm done here, because I have it all in a spreadsheet. But we got our carbohydrates, a cup of quinoa, and half a cup of brown rice. Okay? And now, as you can see, all my food is already cooked. So this basically Saturday afternoon, Sunday morning, I cook a bunch of different food. Quinoa, rice, sweet potatoes, red potatoes, turkey, chicken, and grass-fed beef. That's all my bulk cooking that I did. All right, so let me grab the container with the chicken. Of course, it's at the bottom. And this is just Perdue boneless, skinless chicken breasts. All I put on it was some Mrs. Dash. Basically, I just cut the fat and tendons and stuff off, and then put some Southwest Chipotle on there, and that's all I got on there. I just bake it 350 degrees for about 45 minutes. So we're gonna do 6 ounces of chicken here. There we go. Alright. Gotta add the spice of life, one of the most important ingredients you can own, spicy brown mustard. Nothing's complete without it. Put some SBM on there. And then we got our, we gotta add some black pepper. Lots of it. Good stuff. Alright, got our selections of hot sauce here. Got some sriracha, got some Cholula, got some red hot. I'm gonna go with red hot on this meal. Okay, and then I'm actually gonna add some sea salt. I add sodium to all my meals. You know, some people think that you should avoid sodium. If you're somebody who's eating healthy, low sodium foods and you're training rigorously, you actually need to make sure you get enough sodium. So it's actually important to add it. So I'm adding it to pretty much every single meal. So that meal is complete. The only thing missing is the fat source, which I do not add when I make it. Okay. What I do, this is going to be eaten at the office, and I'm going to heat it first, and then I'm going to add about 7 milliliters of flax oil. You don't want to heat flax oil. It's a very delicate oil. Has a low burn point, so you can really ruin it if you heat it. So I always heat my food first and then add it afterwards. I have another scale at the office. Okay, so that's meal 2 right there. Meal 3, starting with the veggies. We're gonna go with 6 ounces of asparagus. And I'm gonna chop this up. Asparagus, and then this meal we're gonna do 6 ounces of turkey cutlets. These turkey cutlets have virtually no fat in them. Very, very lean. Let's go. And when I bake these, again, all I'm putting on here, on these I put the Mrs. Dash extra spicy. All I'm doing is just throwing that on there, baking them for about 30 minutes, because these are a lot thinner than the chicken breasts, so they don't need to bake as long. 30 minutes at 350 degrees. I'll cook about 4 packages for the week. The chicken, I'm usually doing about 5 or 6 packages a week. the dogs like to get some too. I actually use the chicken to give Sadie her thyroid medication during both of her meals, so keep a little extra around. So throw that in there. Put a little spicy brown in that guy. And we're going to go with some Cholula for this meal. Get a little more salt. Okay, there we go. So we got the protein and the veggies in that meal. And now what we need is our carbohydrate source. Grab a little container here. For this particular meal, my carb source is sweet potatoes. These are organic sweet potatoes. I wash them, I dice them up, I put them on a pan with aluminum foil, spray a little bit so they don't stick. And all I'm putting on them is Saigon cinnamon, and I actually add a little bit of cayenne pepper for spice. So I'm doing 5 ounces of sweet potato with this meal. There we go. And then there is one more part of this meal, which is at the office. I keep a lot of stuff at the office. I kind of have my supply of stuff at home and my supply of stuff at the office. So the other part of that meal is going to be just a rice cake with 16 grams of peanut butter weighed out. 16 grams of peanut butter translates to 8 grams of fat. The other thing I keep one of at the office and one of at home is my Core ABC. I sip on this throughout the day. Also, drink it during my conditioning sessions and during my workouts. So, taking in a significant amount of that every day. So that is meal 3. We got turkey with asparagus, sweet potatoes, rice cake with peanut butter. Now, so that meal is going to be around 11:30, and then the next meal is going to be my pre-workout meal, which I'm usually starting to consume around 2:30 in the afternoon. Get into the gym around 4:45 for my afternoon workout. I'm going to do another 6 ounces of broccoli with this meal. I love broccoli. Eat a lot of it. My dogs love broccoli. I like carrots too. So 6 ounces here. Between meals 2, 3, and 4, taking in a pretty significant amount of veggies. Actually, all of my veggies fall in those 3 meals. Okay. My carbohydrate source for this particular week, and a lot of weeks, I will change things sometimes. Sometimes I'll do brown rice, but I've been doing red potatoes. And so these are just organic red potatoes. I wash them, dice them up, and I'm putting sea salt, black pepper, garlic powder, and some Red Hot on them. Pretty simple. So I'm actually going to do 8 ounces here. Go. I'll organize the fridge later. Alright, and then my protein source, which also acts as my fat source for this meal, is going to be some grass-fed London broil that I bought at the farmer's market. I just cooked this a little while ago. As you can see, this is a pretty lean cut of meat. What I do is I slice them into steaks. I buy these big pieces, and I put some basic seasoning, some salt and some pepper and some Red Hot, a little bit of Worcestershire, and I just sear them on both sides. I don't want to overcook them. I'm going to do 6 ounces of this. The thing is with good meat, you don't want to ruin it by overcooking it or overheating it. And so when I actually heat this up at the office, I'll actually take the lid, put it face down, and take all the meat out and not heat it. And I'll just heat the broccoli and the potatoes a good amount and then put it back in. Sometimes I may, heat it for like 15-20 seconds, but you do not want to take a good meat like that and heat it for a minute or two because you're just going to ruin it. I'm going to put a little more hot sauce on there because you just can't have too much of that. And that meal is good to go. So, we got meals 1 through 4 so far. Alright, so now the next meal is actually going to be my post-workout. Now, post-workout is something that can vary a lot from individual to individual depending on, what their needs and goals are at the time. What I'm currently doing is I'm doing 50 grams of core iso in the chocolate flavor. Okay. And then my carbohydrate selection for my post-workout is actually a combination of Cheerios and Rice Chex. So I'm doing 30 grams of Cheerios. Okay. And then I'm doing 50 grams of Rice Chex. So this is going to go in my gym bag over here, my awesome core gym bag. Got all my stuff in here. I got 2 sets of clothes. I got my set of clothes to change at the gym. Tomorrow after I do my conditioning, I change into my work clothes. And then I have my afternoon gym clothes because I go from the office back to the gym after work. I do come home midday to walk these guys. So this goes in there with all the other stuff that I need. Yeah, if you haven't checked out these gym bags, they're pretty sweet. Really nice touches on it. A lot of space, very sturdy, very strong. Definitely a solid purchase. I would highly recommend them if you are in the market for a gym bag. So, alright, so got all my meals together for tomorrow. And so now what I'm going to do is go through my supplements. Alright. What I do is I use these little Gladware containers and have 2 servings of pills, and then I use the core funnels for my pre-workout powders. I got a fair amount of stuff here that I use on a regular basis. Okay, so starting with my fish oil, Nordic Natural Ultimate Omegas. Alright, taking 2 of those. So this is going to be morning. This is as soon as I get up. And then the one I'm putting here is going to be pre-workout. I got a multivitamin here. Alpha GPC. This is an interesting supplement. I didn't know a whole lot about it, and this is marketed more as a cognitive support supplement. Alex Keekle had posted something on his Facebook page with some research indicating that it could actually be beneficial for power output. So I figured, why not? It's not a really expensive supplement, and so I just decided to give it a try. And honestly, and I don't know if it was just a coincidence, in the first week that I started implementing 300 milligrams twice a day, I noticed that my strength that particular week was better than it had been in a while. So I was like, I've continued taking it since then. one that you might want to look into if you're not familiar with it. Okay, CoQ10, 2 times 100 milligrams. I take that twice a day. Good antioxidant, good for energy and metabolism. That's just an all-around health supplement that I'd recommend right up there with fish oil. I have several joint supplements that I take, the foundation for which is Core Flex. It's a very comprehensive joint supplement. So I take, a dosage of this is actually 8 caps. So I'm putting 4 in each of my supplement servings, 4 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon. I like to take added turmeric. There's a lot of various health benefits, natural anti-inflammatory. So I add this to both my morning and afternoon supplementation. Core burn. So there's 2 different core burns. This is the burn caps. Okay, I don't ever actually take a full dose of this. All right, and I only take a partial dose in divided servings on given days, depending on what my schedule is for that day. Tomorrow being a conditioning day, tomorrow and Wednesday are 2 days where I am going to utilize this supplement. I'm going to take 1 in the morning, okay? And then the other 1 capsule is going to be midday on an empty stomach, probably an hour after I take that midday meal, so it's probably around 12:30, 1 o'clock. So this goes in my cooler, okay? Let's see, this is right. This is part of a stack, my Core Alpha Hard 5AT stack. 5AT was part of the original Core Hard formulation. It's really an anti-cortisol supplement. So I take 3 of these a day. One's going to be in the morning, one's going to be midday, and then this bottle's empty, so I can put this one out. What I do is I put these 3 here because this is what needs to be taken an hour before bed. I'll come back to that in a minute. So my Core Hard, I need 1 in each of those. Again, anti-estrogen, cortisol suppressant, stacked with the Core Alpha. So with the Core Alpha, actually, I have a couple different bottles here, because this will be pre-bedtime. So I'm going to actually get ready to take that here in a little bit, since it's 8:30. This bottle goes into work. I actually take 3 caps of Core Alpha a day. I take 1 cap an hour before my workout, so which is about an hour after my pre-workout meal. All right, so around 3:30, 3:40, when I take my pre-workout supplements, I take 1 Core Alpha. And then right about now, which is, an hour before taking my last meal of the day, I'm going to take 2 Core Alpha, and then 1 Core Hard, and then 1 5AT, and of course the bottle isn't open. So that's part of what I do before bed. Important part of that is you want to take that on an empty stomach, and you really want to take it away from carbohydrates to maximize the benefits and efficacy of the L-Dopa. Okay, so let's see what else we got here. I take an alpha-lipoic acid supplement. For those who aren't familiar with alpha-lipoic acid, helps upregulate GLUT4, which is a receptor in the cells that enables glycogen uptake. All right, another part of my joint supplementation, I take added cissus. Now there is cissus in the Core Flex, but I take some in addition to that anyway. There's also turmeric in the Core Flex, but I take some in addition to that anyway. Another thing that I add to my joint stack is Celadrin. Okay, so I'm adding 3 cups of that in the morning. All right, acetyl-L-carnitine, also known as Alcar. It's an antioxidant, also helpful for fat mobilization, energy metabolism. The three supplements I refer to as metabolic optimizers are CoQ10, acetyl-L-carnitine, and alpha-lipoic acid. I'm really a big advocate of those three. And I also throw 5,000 micrograms of biotin in there. I think this is the last part of my joint stack. This is hyaluronic acid. So I'm adding a couple of those to each of my servings, and I think that's it for my pills. And you're probably all thinking like, holy Christ, and I do swallow those all at once. I don't have time to sit there and take them one at a time. So, afternoon, this goes in my cooler, okay? Morning, this comes over here. Already set the coffee maker up, okay? That's there. I take a little bit of creatine in the morning, but my pre-workout's going to have creatine in it as well. You know, many would argue you only need 5 grams of creatine a day. I sometimes take a little more. I'm going to take 1 scoop of Burn Ultra. Now, if I was taking this by itself with no other thermogenics, I would easily do 2 scoops, but because I'm doing a scoop, sorry, not a scoop, a capsule of the Core Burn, the regular Core Burn, I'm doing 1 of those and then 1 scoop of that, all right, with coffee. I like my stimulants. I have very high tolerance to stimulants, so I do very well with them. Some people don't. You know, you need to kind of assess that. All right. Now on to powders. So, my favorite pre-workout stack is these 4 guys here. All right. We start with Fury Extreme. If you want a really good comprehensive review of everything that's in here and everything it does, I'd highly recommend that you watch Massive Joe's raw review of Fury Extreme. Does a great job breaking the supplement down. I've used, you know, several different pre-workouts, but really this ends up being my go-to. I always come back to this. The Core Fury Extreme is without a doubt my favorite. So I do a scoop of that. You really do not need more than a scoop. Stack it with Pump, which is a non-stimulatory pre-workout. And you know, I actually, pretty much in all my days, I like to throw Pump in. So there's those 2. And I'm going to add 3 grams of HMB. All right. For those who aren't familiar with HMB, it's a metabolite of leucine. It's been shown to really help with muscle and strength preservation, especially under conditions of caloric deficit. I think it can have some benefits in the off season. I tend to use it all year round, but for those who can't afford to take the amount of supplements that you're seeing me consume, I would highly recommend it under the conditions of contest preparation when you're putting excessive demands on the body, under caloric restriction, and you want to try to preserve muscle and strength as much as you can. This is a crucial supplement, so I would highly recommend that. All right, the other one I'm going to throw in there is taurine. Now you need to always assess what's in your pre-workout. Some pre-workouts have taurine in them, so you don't need to add it. So if yours has it, I've had people ask me about other questions about ingredients such as like beta-alanine and augmentine. Definitely very, very beneficial supplements, but like I'm getting plenty of augmentine between the Fury Extreme Pump stack, and as far as beta-alanine is concerned, again, it's a great pH stabilizer. It helps with muscular endurance during your workouts. Is going to work synergistically stacked with the creatine. However, I'm taking in so much ABC throughout the day, I'm getting plenty of beta-alanine from the ABC, so I really don't need, there's no reason for me to add that to my pre-workout stack. If, depending on the amount of ABC you're consuming prior to your workout during the day, you may want to consider throwing that beta-alanine into your pre-workout stack. But that's basically my pre-workout stack. So this goes in my cooler to work because I will be taking in the afternoon around 3:30. Okay. Alright, so the end of my movie there got cut off. Just wanted to finish this off with the last bit of information. So, the last supplements I didn't really get a chance to talk about, I'd mentioned that in about an hour before bedtime, away from my last meal, I'll do my Core Hard Alpha 5AT stack. And then what I usually do, my last meal of the day, is going to be 2 to 3 whole eggs with about a cup or a little more of egg whites. The number of whole eggs depends on kind of my macro balance throughout the rest of my day and what my fat allocation is for that meal. And then a little while after that, I take my Core Z's and actually stack it with Phenibut, which increases the efficacy of the GABA. So that's my pre-bedtime stack to help me not only get to sleep but get good restful sleep, which is important for recovery. Okay, so how do I come up with all this stuff and how do I know what the numbers are? If you take a look here, you can zoom in on this. This is my trusty spreadsheet. As you can see, I have a tab for each day, and I also track all the weekly stuff. But what this does is I predetermine what's needed, and I kind of have a base or foundation, and so the macronutrients are determined ahead of time before I make the meals, and so I kind of know at this point what my base meals are. I don't really even need to look at my spreadsheet unless I need to change something. Having said that, what I do is before I leave in the morning, I always weigh myself, and I'm carefully tracking what my morning weight is at a given time every single morning. And sometimes I have issues with my weight dropping too rapidly, in which case I need to add calories. A lot of time what I'll do, I really don't want to have a large change in the protein or the fat, but I'm working on just increasing, the replenishing glycogen reserves, so just a good way to add carbohydrates. And so I actually keep Cheerios at the office, and a dry cereal like Cheerios is an easy way to add just carbohydrates in whatever amount that I need. Again, I have another scale at the office, so if I just need to add some carbs to bring that number up a little bit, help stabilize my weight, then that's what I do. The other thing that I take doesn't really supplement, but it's kind of again something I would highly recommend. The Bragg's raw apple cider vinegar. I do 2 tablespoons in the morning before I leave for the gym, mixed with about 16 ounces of water. You don't want to drink this stuff straight. And then I do another couple tablespoons midday, so I have one of the and I have another bottle at the office. So that's pretty much everything. That's my daily routine, what I need to do to get ready. So hopefully you find that helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to post them. Have a good night.